Welcome to How Can She?
Snap.
This is a Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal.
Woo. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a quick episode for you, boys and girls, today. Most of the stuff that we wanted to cover are gonna cover. We were on Snap Judgments podcast last night. It was an awesome experience. We had a ton of fun. We covered a lot, so go listen to their podcast if it's something that you extra that you want to hear us cover. But this is gonna be quick, just to give our quick little opinions here. We're gonna talk about Hercules, quick thoughts on him. We're going to talk about the meta a little bit, and then we're going to get into just going over the updated patch notes a bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about the development roadmap. Let's get it. The kid. All right, no big deal. How the hell are you, my man?
I feel great, kid. I don't know. I think it's like Christmas came early in Snap. You know, we had the holiday debacle where it was, monetization Christmas. As pay to win Christmas. But I feel like we got delayed, and we're into Christmas now. So many new cards. I'm loving the series drops. The leaked patch. We're freaking out on this pod last week, just raging at how horrible the changes were. I think they fixed them all very well. I think they did a great job. Kind of at least making them, the right amount of severity. And I've played probably 10 decks in the last week, literally.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I mean, I've just been playing a lot. I've seen some like whispers on Twitter about, the meta's stale, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there is a lot of Thanos, granted, but I'm starting over the last couple of days to see less Thanos than like maybe 2 or 3 days ago. Like everyone was playing Thanos, I feel. But now it's like a lot less. There's still a good amount of it, which I'm happy with. I love the old boy Thanos, but there's a lot less of it. And like you said, I'm making like 10 decks a day, and just like, and by making, I mean filthy net decking 10 decks a day.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're cooking. I mean, the smart people are cooking right now, so I'm copying them as well. I actually do have one home brew I'll bring to the people, a little bit of spice, because I haven't seen it anywhere. So a little bit of spice for the people, but I mean, the other like 9 decks I've played have all just been, let me go steal that from some smart people and maybe change a card.
Yeah, and actually, it feels like a lot of stuff is good in this meta right now, which is refreshing. Yeah. It's nice. It's like I can play a lot of different decks, and I do relatively well with a lot of different decks. Some better than others, but not like this. I'll put it lightly. Dog shit card.
Oh no! Don't do him like that.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, not that he's not that bad. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But he's Hercules, man. What do you think about him? I know we talked a lot about it last night on Snap Judgments, but what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, like we talk about, I just I can't get my head around the once each card. I know some people were suggesting last night lower the cost. I would just like to see the card if it functions the way I think it should, where every card every turn is once per turn. So you can't Iron Fist, Ghost Spider, Doctor Strange, ping pong a Human Torch back forth, back forth, back forth, back forth. Okay, because it's once per turn per card. But why is it that I'm playing Hercules, kid? I'm playing Hercules, and my opponent throws down a Silk. Okay, and Silk tends to gain priority because she's a freaking 2/5, right?
Yep.
My Hercules is sitting there. I spent 4 power setting this thing up. It's my entire game plan is the Hercules on the left lane to do whatever nasty shit I'm about to do. My opponent plays Silk, flies into the Hercules lane just by chance because she's Silk, because he played. He has priority. He kicks out the Silk, and now my game is over.
Yeah, I don't like it. I agree with you.
What is that shit? There's no way that didn't come up in testing. Like someone moves the vision in, and you don't even get to play the game. And like the stars already aligned for you. Like you already have to align some stars to even set that up. And one opponent's card moves in, and you don't even get to move a card. It makes zero sense to me. So I feel like it's an awesome concept of a card. Like this card concept is sick and could create some really cool gameplay patterns, right? But as it is now, I don't get it, and I don't love
Yeah,
it.
one card per turn I think is fair, honestly, and I don't
Yeah,
think that would make it even broken. And if it did make
yeah,
it quote unquote broken, I mean, moves suck, so let it be broken for a little bit, you know?
yeah. Or move him to a
Um,
4/3. Like he doesn't need 6 power. I mean, you're not playing this card for the power anyway. Like just juice his power down, and that would take the overall power of the deck down. It'll make your left lane weaker or whatever lane you play him in, and it's fine. You could adjust that knob. He has 6 power. Like whatever. He doesn't need 6 power, but
yeah, I
his
agree.
effect does nothing. Like it moves one card. It's a joke.
Yeah, I agree with you that I think that would be a much better effect that if it can move one card per turn,
Mhm.
or like one specific card per, you know what I mean? What you said.
It's
Not
kind of
just
like
one, not just one card per turn, one specific card. A certain card can only move once per turn.
yeah.
So you can't move Human Torch 5,000 times in one turn. You can only move it once.
Yeah, they could phrase it because they have the word the first. They could say the first time each card moves here. Period. No turn. Just the first time each card moves here, move it to another location. Uh, each turn, and then
Yeah.
there you go. So
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a cool change. I really think they need to bring his energy down. I think he suffers from what most move cards suffer with, and that the mistakes they've made in the past is that he costs way too much.
yep.
Like Ghost Spider came out as a 2/3. Doctor Strange used to be a 3 cost. And it's like now he's a 2 cost. Ghost Spider is a 1 cost. And still, move is not like a great archetype, right?
2099 still a forecast.
Yeah, he's still a 4 cost. I mean, like these cards, like the setup requires so much, and you have to draw specific cards in a specific order that it's like once you do eventually draw them, you need to be able to play them. And that's like you play him on turn 4, then you have 2 turns to do stuff. Sure, you can play Magic and you can do Human Torch Tribunal stuff. That's cool, but like I don't know, for him to be consistent, he needs to be a lower cost, and whatever his power is, I don't care what it is, but for him to be playable and actually mean something, that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, no, you could be right. We each got ideas of things, but we definitely agree that it's just it doesn't feel great. And I think it's a cool concept of a card, and hopefully, in the next month or two, they touch them up a good amount and play some move decks. Moves so fun. It just reminds you how like just fun it is.
Yeah,
Even the basic like full 2 move cards. They're an absolute blast to play.
I love
Especially
it. It's
new,
really
2 cost Doctor Strange feels awesome.
it's great.
Yeah.
Move is really fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, like don't spend 6,000 tokens on him. But he might get buffed in the future, but still, I don't think that's worth wasting 6,000 tokens right now. This
Yeah,
guy's
he always,
Series 5.
he
What a
might pop
joke.
up in another cache in a couple months, right? And then you can just
Yeah.
like Black Knight, right? Like Black
Yeah.
Knight came out was shit. You didn't lose any sleep, and then a few weeks before he gets in the cache, they buff him. It's like, okay, cool. I'll grab him in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a joke. He's 6,000 tokens. So, anyways, so let's talk about the meta. Like we said, there's so many different decks we can play. Scar's a season pass card. There's a lot of big boy. Our boy from Discord, Chad Gunny T, unreal fan of the show. What's up, Gunny T? You're the man.
I call him. I call it the Chad GPT deck.
He calls it Big Dumb Idiots. I called it Chad Big Boys. He's a top 1,000 ladder player. I'll link his Twitter actually below. It's I think it's the Chad USMC. That's what it is, because he's a Marine as well. So he probably gets more done in 2 hours than I do in 2 weeks. Marine work ethic. This list is actually awesome. It's just a big list with Zero and Cosmo, and it's Zero. And then the 2-drop is kind of I've flexed in Shadow King. I know he was playing Quake before the initial iteration was Lizard. I've won games with Shadow King. Quake is pretty cool too in this slot because new Quake is awesome. So Zero, Shadow King, Armor, Maximus, Cosmo, the Chadiator, Warpath, Atuma, Ronin, Blob, Scar, and Destroyer. This list steals cubes. People don't really know how much power you can output, and Scar consistently can get to 2 power. You just play a big boy on 4, a big boy on 5, and then Scar's 2 energy. Sorry, not 2 power, and it's pretty cool.
I gotta say too, climbing with this list. I climbed a lot, like 2 infinite with this list. Started the season, and the cube equity you get from the card Warpath is pretty nice. Some people think you're a bot when you slam down the Warpath. Hey, you can steal cubes that way too, but you can't do it once you get an infinite. But if you guys want to climb next month, this is a cheeky way to do it. And
No,
I got a couple laughs. I'm like, wait, I think he thinks I'm a bot. He's just playing an average play line like for 8 cubes. Like, what is this? What is this guy doing? Like,
no, bro,
I'm emoting at the end. Obviously, you go wait, don't emote at the end. It's like, oh no, what just happened?
I'm playing this top 5K.
Yeah.
I'm playing this top 5K infinite right now. Warpath's doing work, bro.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He's doing work. He's putting behind Cosmo.
Sure. I like this deck. I would not take Warpath out either.
No, he don't. He's great. The one thing, actually, Ica just posted a list today on Twitter that was very similar to this. I think he had a little bit lower end. He had Nebula, but he had, instead of Destroyer, there was Magneto. And I'm like, man, actually, that's a pretty sick change. It doesn't affect your blob too much, and Magneto can do work, especially on turn 6, right? Mm-hmm. So I've always Destroyer is good a lot of times. But yeah, I think I might take him out and play Magneto and just run the big dumb idiot list. It's a nice mid-range list.
Cosmo. I mean, this whole list is just abusing Cosmo and Zero, and then you play effects that are cards that are way overstated, like Chad, like Destroyer, and they don't proc on with Zero or Gladiator. So awesome list.
Yeah, so this is a great shout out to Gunny T. You're the man, buddy. Mm-hmm. All right. So next, this list has been for me, this Darkhawk, standard Darkhawk Leech. Mm-hmm. It's still really good.
Yeah.
I was playing this today for a little bit too, and it's just winning. It's good. Just Korg, Shadow King, Zabu, Jeff, Killmonger, Rockslide, Darkhawk, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, Iron Lad, Leech, Doctor Doom. Mm-hmm. Just a oldie but a goodie, you know? It still works really good.
Yeah, I wonder if you need Doom with Marvel now. If you're not playing Thanos, maybe that's mandatory. I don't know. I was playing some Lockdown as well. I find you really want to see the Doctor Doom, whereas I didn't really give a shit before if I got him or not. Just to make sure you have the two of a unique costs on each side and the Marvel and et cetera in the middle.
I was finding that I didn't need him, but he's very nice as if I have him in my hand, I'm like, okay, I don't have to dump a second card on the other side. I can just doom on turn. I'm going to be dooming on turn 6. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be covered. And that's going to be a surprise 10 power that they don't know about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's definitely nice. He's definitely very nice in this list, but you certainly don't need him. I've gotten the Miss Marvel buff on both lanes. You just got to plan.
Killmonger's in here. Almost nobody's playing Killmonger as a straight up tech anymore. This is it,
Oh, he's nice. He's nice. He gets the 1-drops. You got to get him out early, especially if you have priority. I got cucked by Kyra once today. Mm-hmm. A guy played Nebula and Sunspot, mm-hmm. and I'm like, I think I only had Jeff down. And I played Killmonger on 3. I'm like, come on, don't have the Kyra. He played 1 card. I'm like, no. Kyra. I was like, fuck. And then, so that happened. Mm-hmm. But this list is just a solid, old, reliable list. It's nice. Mm-hmm. And then, there's the Black Knight stuff, which you can still play, which is still really good.
Yeah, I think it's top tier. I think that Black Knight and the Thanos are the two big dogs right now. Thanos being number 1, and blob Thanos, and then I would say Black Knight is the next up there. I think both decks are still fantastic. Loki's touched in the patch.
Loki's still really good. Let's be honest,
still really good for sure.
But I don't see Loki that much. I think people are just sick of it.
Yeah, and it's more now it's you're really playing it to try to beat Thanos. That's mm-hmm. your main goal, but it's not nearly as good into the other matchups probably. Yeah,
Johnson had Quake Thanos. This list is just sick. Craven, Jeff, Quake, Silk.
Quake's insane right now.
Yeah. Storm, Loki, Double Dino, Vision, Goliath, Blob, Thanos, Magneto. It's great. Johnson's been just throwing Loki randomly in Thanos lists. And he's like, dude, Loki's just good in Thanos lists because you always have a full hand. It's a great backup plan. Mm-hmm. If you have crap by turn 4, if you don't really have much, mm-hmm. you should play Loki. It just works.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. His junk list that he had, I'm so sad that the Annihilus nerf. But
I will say though, if you go back to that last deck, the something I could speak on. Storm and Quake is pretty nasty. And if you're not playing it, make sure you look out for it. Like when they play the Storm, look at the board and say, could they play Quake right now? And if so, where would they play? And it's always very obvious because they want to, it'll be, they'll switch a lane that makes it so that, a lane that they're already winning, you now can't play there. So it storms a different location. So whatever one they're already winning, you could blind play there to try to counter the Quake play. So just keep an eye out for that because it's like it seems very like reliable and easy to pull off the storm and storm on 3, and it is you could Quake 4, 5, or 6.
Those are some mind games though, because like you just like do you just not play in the storm lane because you're worried about Quake? Like what if they don't have Quake? You just give up the storm lane because you're like I'm not playing the storm lane. Maybe they have Quake, but then like you just give up the storm lane, then they don't have to Quake later because you gave up that lane.
I would say
it's OP.
Play it if you have a really strong option for the storm lane. Because if a guy playing Storm is playing Storm, he probably has Vision. He probably has Miss Marvel. He probably has all kinds of shit in his deck that can later go. Jeff will be in there for sure. And so unless you have something like that, really like Sentry or something like that, you're gonna drop a Sentry in a Storm lane. Which most of the time they play Storm right, but something like this where it's like really powerful. Maybe just give up the Storm lane. Don't worry about it. Like you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
Cyclops is great. If you're a high Evo player, you could drop a Cyclops and a Nebula there, or a Cyclops and a Sunspot. Then go ahead, go get the Storm lane. It's fine. And don't worry about Quake later. Yeah, because either way, that's good.
How you feeling about Quake so far?
She feels nuts. She feels nuts for sure. I don't know if she's like giga broken yet, but maybe I'm wrong. Loki felt completely busted the second he came out. I don't know if Quake is the same to me. She feels really, really good. Maybe OP, but I like her right now. I'm not on the I hate this card yet. I haven't been beat by it enough yet, and I've been using it myself a lot. So yeah,
I've won some games with Quake. Quake's definitely won me a couple games, especially like I had a Luke Spar game, which was pretty hilarious, where I just bounced their Miss Marvel. But yeah, so Quake hasn't been. Quake's been great. I mean, I've won some games with Quake. I haven't got owned by Quake yet, so that's pretty good.
Oh, I have for sure.
I mean, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I don't know how I've dodged it, but I mean, it's just I've gotten lucky. But I will get, I've had the double reverse where like I've quaked after they quaked and they didn't know that was going to happen and I won because of it.
There you go. That's you dodged it. It's like in Final Destination where they cheat death,
Yeah, exactly.
But like eventually it's coming. It's going to come for you.
I know. I'm going to quake one time and I think I'm a big boss and then I'm just going to get owned by it. Yeah. But yeah, so and there's a lot of Thanos lists too that are pretty good. Yo Woody had this deck too, which is pretty sweet that he's playing against Thanos to, beat Thanos, which is Yellow Jacket, Hood, Spider-Ham, Nico, Zabu, Mobius, Thor, Werewolf, Enchantress, Sentry, Annihilus, Jane Foster. It's a cool deck too. It's really good. You played it a little bit too today, right?
Yeah, I played like 3 games, smashed every game, but 3 game samples, obviously nothing, but this deck feels and just looks amazing. It's like it's just perfect. It's like a monkey dump, but like it's like a werewolf dump. It's got bounce cards, but there's no bounce in it. But yeah, all the cards make a lot of sense in here. And I mean, this thing just outputs a ton of power. You got the Enchantress attack, which I love. Enchantress just slaps right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this deck's sick. And Annihilus, he didn't, we'll get to that with the patch, changes later, but he's a 5/6, very, very, very playable card. And you could reduce your Hood with the Yellow Jacket, make him a -4. Send that little boy over. Let's go.
That's true.
I did in one of the 3 games I played.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah. And I think Yo Woody was saying and when he posted this deck, like a cheeky trick he does is you play the Yellow Jacket on the Sentry, and now you can't Shang-Chi the Sentry.
That's pretty good. That's actually nice.
Next level.
That is next level. Yeah, and then you can't. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's 4/9 now.
Yeah, that's actually great. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That's because I'm a casual idiot.
Yeah, that guy's really good.
He's very good. Yeah, and then D Money posted this list it's a fun list. He was climbing with it. It's like an ongoing Howard the Duck Spectrum Thanos list, which is pretty cool. I actually stole some cubes with this. It actually outputs a lot more power than you think. It's got, Howard, Shadow King, Luke Cage, Quake, Mr. Fantastic, Cosmo, Mobius, Kyra, Kazar, Blue Marvel, Spectrum, and Thanos. It's a fun deck. Howard's fun.
I'm happy you brought up Howard. We both just picked this card up.
Yeah.
We were Spotlight Keys. Roll for Hercules and Howard. Why not? We both didn't have Howard, so it's free value.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna play Howard, this is the way to play him in a Thanos list. Just makes the most sense. Thanos is already good. Bunch of ongoing cards you're drawing. You're filling up the board. The zoo cards fit naturally. But I will say I played some Howard Thanos, and it just feels a little bit tilting when you got a Mind Stone and a Time Stone, a Reality Stone, just clogging your board, and it just doesn't feel good. You play that Spectrum, it hits like 3 or 4 cards, and you're like, all right, my Spectrum was like a 613 or 15, Blob's like a 640, and I'm just like, I don't love it. So I did make a Howard, just straight up quack, just Howard list. If you want to get into some spice for the people.
Is this the no big deal spice?
This is the spice this week. All right, this deck's legit.
Yes. Do you want me to build it?
What?
Do you want me to build it?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right, we'll get rid of the Loki deck.
Okay.
Because I can just find 1,000 of those.
Yeah, a lot of people are posting all kinds of decks, and I just haven't seen anything quite like this. So this thing's a beast. You play, basically you're playing a bunch of ongoing cards, and then you buff them with Spectrum. It's easy. So we got Ant-Man and Howard.
All right, let's see.
Some people are doing the Ghost Valk. You want more 1-drops, but I just find that Valk number 1 is not an ongoing card, and then number 2 just feels unnecessary and maybe look clunky to me anyway. I like Valk and Cerebro 3 though. Cerebro 3 has been fire this season. Yeah. Zabu, Luke Cage. So we're at 2-drop. Luke Cage, Lizzo.
Where's that? There he is.
Then it looks like Scorpion. 3-drop, Rogue.
Nice.
With an ongoing card.
That's a good tech.
Yeah, Rogue's ongoing. And then obviously it doesn't zap all of your cards.
Where the hell's Rogue? Am I blind? Oh yeah. What the hell?
Cool variant.
I didn't upgrade the Jim Lee one. I'm gonna have to do that.
And then we're in a Zabu deck, so at the 4 drops, we got Jubilee, because we're playing Howard the Duck. And not just Iron Lad that synergizes with Howard the Duck. But there's almost no bad hits. Everything you hit is an ongoing card or it's Rogue. So you just if you see an ongoing card, you play it there. Then we got Miss Marvel, Man Thing.
Oh, Man Thing's
Iron
great.
Lad. You're playing Luke Cage, remember? So Man Thing, and then Sarah, Spectrum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this list is sick. If people are playing super high base power stuff, Scar type of stuff, maybe you have a little bit of a hard time. You don't have Shang-Chi or anything, but they're probably playing Kyra in there anyway. But you could go really wide with this list. Man Thing owns Thanos. See stones, you play the Man Thing. You have the Luke Cage if you need it. Usually don't need it, honestly. Just leave the Man Thing there. Or you could play just Man Thing, Miss Marvel mid if they're playing mid, and that's a awesome lane. Zabu and Sarah both double reduce your cards, but if they play Mobius, you have Rogue. So you see a Mobius, you play the Rogue. Now you have an ongoing card that can be buffed by Spectrum, and then you play Sarah and you dump your hand, or you just play Spectrum on 6, or you play Spectrum plus 2 cards on 6 because you have Sarah and Zabu both.
Nice. And this list, you just pray there's no Enchantress.
Oh yeah, you get absolutely body bagged by Enchantress.
Would you ever consider Cosmo instead of Lizard? I mean, Cosmo's an ongoing, right?
For sure,
and could protect some stuff.
I'm trying to flood the board, and Lizard has the Luke Cage synergy. But yes, you absolutely can Cosmo if you need. I haven't seen too much Ench, and you could survive an Enchantress a lot of the time. Just depends on where they use it. Use it on your Man Thing, you might be screwed. But other than that, like your Miss Marvel can tank it. Like most of your cards can tank it. Because you're mostly just, you're banking on the Spectrum play, which is an on-reveal card.
Yeah. I love it.
Anyway, pretty fun new deck, something different. If you think the meta's stale, you want to play some just wild shit, here you go.
I'm going to play this, actually, and see what happens.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, try Cosmo too in the lizard spot because I like that idea. I didn't think of that.
I might, yeah. I mean, Rogue's a good tech card too. If Rogue doesn't do work, then even it can go in the Rogue spot too.
Rogue did a ton of work when I played.
All right, well then maybe Lizard. 2 tech cards are fine.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe just Cosmo. It's up to you. The Cosmo instead of Rogue works.
Yeah, sweet.
Cosmo's an awesome hit on Iron Lad too.
The
Iron
quack.
Lad hitting the Cosmo always feels good.
Quack quack. Ducks are back, baby. Does Howard do anything in this deck, or is he like, you know?
Well, yeah, like, you're playing Jubilee and Iron Lad, so like it's pretty nice, right? To know exactly what you're gonna hit with either Jubilee or Iron Lad.
That's what I mean. Has it working out well for you, or is is there another card that could just be better?
No, it has to be Howard. The whole deck. This is a Howard deck.
I love it.
Him. Okay. And there's only like 4 ongoing 1-drops anyway. Like it's either him, Quinjet or Ghost. Those cards aren't going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean you could put Goose.
Yeah, Goose is interesting too, but that would be maybe Lizard. Maybe you take Lizard out for Goose.
Yeah,
I would say to that.
Yeah, you're not playing the blob in that lane, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. All right, sweet. I love it. Let's go on to let's go to the patch notes.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the patch real quick.
Also, just quick special shout out to Cerebro 3. Check Snapster has a really good deck. The Dexter, popular streamer man. His P3 is phenomenal. I've played a lot of it. He
lives for the Cerebro.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I think I took out Scarlet Witch from Mobius in his deck, and that thing just slaps. Quake carries just a lot of your games. That's what it comes down to. If Quake wasn't a 3-drop, I don't even think Cerebro 3 would be that great of a deck right now. But Quake is a 3, so it just she just goes ham.
Yeah, just rip it. Any bad location, you can just switch it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you actually, when you play Cerebro decks, if you actually draw the Cerebro, it's probably a good deck. But I'm not one of those people, so it won't be me.
Well, you could win. You got a Bast Iron Man. That could win a lane. A Wasp Valkyrie.
I've retired Cerebro for at least a few more months.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm absolutely done with that deck. I can't take it. like a week or two ago, I played and I didn't draw Cerebro in 5 straight games, and I was like, I'm fucking done. That's it. I was like, it's over for me.
Feeling about Phoenix Force, honestly.
But I feel like Phoenix Force, I don't know. Maybe for me, it's different because I mentally go into the games and I'm like, I know for sure that if I don't draw the combo, I'm leaving. With Cerebro, I always feel like I'm in the game somehow, and I'm like, all right, I just gotta get that Cerebro. But I feel like it kind of teases me for longer because by turn 6, I don't draw it, and I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. At least Phoenix Force, it puts me out of my misery soon. I don't draw by turn 4. I'm like, all right, wait, it's over.
Yeah, and C3 is usually a magic version too, so you get roped even longer if you got to go to turn 7. And
yeah, and a lot of the Phoenix Force decks, some of the more popular ones before anyway, I have a backup plan like Nimrod Shuri.
Yeah,
so it's okay, I can just do that then, and I have some hope in hell. The Cerebro is just no. Well, I have some 3-drops, a Basset Iron Man, sure. Then one list is 12, the Blob's is 640. Great.
Mm-hmm. And then you Falcon.
And one lane. All right. Let's go to the patch here and see what happens. All right. So, firstly, there is Loki, 4/5, stayed at 4/5. He was going to be a 4/6, and now he's a 4/5. Transform your hand into cards from your opponent's starting deck and give them -1 cost. Still, very good card. We'll give a 1 sentence, I think. I don't think we're going too far in the weeds here. We talked a lot about it last night on Snap Judge Pod, but still a great card. They gave a whole paragraph here of why this should work with Quinjet, even though it transforms and even though Spider Ham doesn't. So, yeah.
But then they changed it, and so now it does, right?
It works with Quinjet, yeah.
Yeah, but Spider-Ham does too now, I think.
Okay, good. So it works.
I think they changed the transform mechanics of the game.
Yeah, probably.
They say that if you scroll down. That's what it says.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So works with Quinjet, doesn't work with Collector. Still a great deck. Still probably a top tier deck and top tier card.
Yeah,
Maybe not so far ahead, the best in the game, but yeah, still good. Good change.
I'm like I said, because we shit on it quite a bit that they were moving it up to a 4.6 last week. So I am really happy they kept it at a 4.5. The meta just it doesn't seem like it's just Loki out everywhere now, so that's really nice. And at least the collector, like you do take a lot of power away, at least from that deck. So it's got Loki players are figuring it out. But like I said on Snap Judgment, ultimately I would love it if this card did not read, give them -1 cost. I think it's a joke. I think Quinjet already does that. You just play a Quinjet, and there you go. You get a -1 cost. Just play Sarah. Just play Zabu. Just play Scar. Like, just play She-Hulk. We have many, many cards in this game that reduce cost. Why does Loki do it? His flavor is the chaos of transforming your hand into theirs. That's what you have to keep. -1 cost. We literally have Sarah in the game. We don't need Loki to do it too. It's a joke. Put him like a 3/4 or something and make him transform your hand. I think that sounds cool to me personally.
I like the -1 cost.
I think it's broken. It's too good.
It is.
It's way too good. Should not do that.
I know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I mean, they've hit that deck so much now, and finally they changed Loki. So if it's still crazy, then we'll see. There'll be riots, and hopefully they change it.
True.
Miss Marvel was a 415. Now is a 414.
Hey, we take those. We take those. She had to go down at least one.
Yeah, at least 414, and So the leaked said that she was still a 4.5. They made her a 4.4 here, and she still needs 2 or more cards on each side, which is more work to do. I feel like with this change, they were trying to hit lockdown decks, which were pretty popular a month ago, which is probably when they had these patches notes locked in. Since those are really no longer that popular, this 2+ is not that big of a deal. It's has been like a big deal in very slim circumstances for me, but I think it's fine. At least they made her a 4.4. She's a 4.14, which is still ridiculous, and I still think she's going to be really good.
Yeah, for sure. Still a really good card. Definitely, you kind of do feel the more restrictedness sometimes. A lot of decks, though, you don't. Like, if you're playing Aaron Thanos, you're never going to feel it. You have so many 1 costs. It's easy to just get a 1 in each lane, and you're chilling. So, even the lockdown list, pretty easy. Like, you're playing Jeff, Vision, you can move around and handle her business. So, really good card, but I'm happy they hit it, and they needed to hit it. And I'm happy she's still, the leak said she was a 415, and now she's not. So that's really good. That's a good thing. We got to celebrate when they do something good.
I like it. Annihilus was a 5.7, now is a 5.6. So everything in the leak is the same, except for not a 5.5, it's a 5.6. So I'm really sad about this because it's still your cards with power below 0 switch sides. Destroy those that can't. It's not cards with 0 or less, so I can't ship over rocks. So they nerfed the deck, the junk deck that was just terrible and not that good.
Yeah.
And then they kept the part where Annihilus was good. I don't get it.
Kid, let me ask you a philosophical question.
Yeah.
What if they kept the 5.5, but they took out the bullshit where, the 0, like they let him still work with debris, but they
I'd be happy about that. I'd be fine with that.
I think I would prefer that as well.
Me too.
Then he's still an Annihilus, right? He still sends all this shit over. Like,
yeah,
the whole point of the card is to send all the shit over. That's the fun of the card. Like, they're like killing the spirit of Annihilus here, and I hate this change. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, even as a 5.5, like even if you have a sentry on the board, like you're still like you're not gonna play Annihilus even as like a 5.7. I mean, you could, but like you probably won't. If like you don't have those cards on the board, like you're still sending a -10 over, and it's still like a ridiculous play. You're still sending the Hood over. You're still sending Celine if you play. It's nice. It was nice having the 0 too, because like even if you like use the Yellow Jacket to like let's say in that Woody deck, like if you use the Yellow Jacket to get rid of the Spider Ham to make it a 0, you could send that. You could ship that over.
Yeah,
it was nice doing that and clogging. But it wasn't like broken because those were not good decks. Mm-hmm. The Annihilus bounce decks were the good decks, and those are the ones that just used the raw stat package, which they only took 1 point off, which is like this is like the same as taking the 1 point off Shuri. It's like, okay, So
Yeah.
so it went from like a 27-point play to a 26-point play. Like, all right, great.
Yeah.
It's still great. It's still a good card, but less fun because they took away the fun part of it with the rocks.
Yeah, they killed the spirit. I don't like to see that unless it take like Galactus took over for a time there. Like the popularity of Galactus was like staggeringly high considering how hard it was to acquire that card at the time as a
Yeah,
legit big bad, where tokens were hard to come by. The fact that Galactus was like a 14% meta share was, and like that's all you saw on the last 5 ranks on the way to Infinite. It was just only Galactus players.
yeah.
Junk hasn't come close to that. Like,
No.
let's wait until we get to like at least Professor X level toxicity before we nerf Debris and Viper. Come on, boys. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's the problem too. Is like they destroyed Black Widow, they destroyed Viper, they nerfed them into the ground right before Celine came out, which is what we were excited about, and now they're nerfing this part. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll play Debris never. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, why are we hitting Debris? Like, she didn't do anything wrong. Like, she was a reasonable card, and she didn't deserve this.
Yeah, let the junk players let us just be meme idiots, please.
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with this part. The power change is fine. Like you said, if they kept the below 0 or 0 or below and made them a 5/5, I'd been cool with that.
Yeah, because they had to take the power. The stats were too good, right? The win rate was too good, they said. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's take 2 power off. It's a massive nerf to 5/7. So there's your massive nerf. You keep it, but then you don't actually, kill the spirit of the card. Now it's just the same bullshit package it always was. You can still do that now. It's still really good right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dracula didn't change. It stayed the same. So, I mean, stayed the same as the leak.
Yeah.
So
also he's basically also just stayed the same as well. It's the same card.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
It isn't even a change. Like
no. Jotunheim nerf, but whatever. Muir Island buff. Angel, same.
Mhm.
Quake. I mean, we talked a bit about Quake, but Quake is taking over. It's a Quake meta now. A lot of people are playing Quake. It's a fun card. It's not. I don't feel like it's oppressive right now. Maybe that will change in the future, but it seems fun right now, so I'll enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, you said when you read it, maybe they'll have to do it to a 2/2, and I was thinking maybe it could stay to a 2/3, but now I'm starting to see you might have been right, and I think it'd be totally fine at a 2/2.
It's not about the power. It's like Legion when they made him a 5/7 and people stopped playing him. It's like he does the same thing. He didn't need to be a 5/8. He could be a 5/6 and still steal games.
Yeah, true.
It's not about the power. It's about the shock value and switching stuff. The card with this powerful of an effect doesn't need to be a 2/3.
Yeah.
But yeah, Quake's awesome, and then Kingpin. Kingpin's been fun. he didn't change with the leak as well.
Yeah, it's a new card though. New Quake and Kingpin are basically new cards into the game, right? So
yeah,
we've had a lot of new cards into the game in like a week and a half span. So pretty sick.
Yeah, and then Fixed Tower again, afflict it with -4 instead of destroying, and it still keeps the same animation, which I'm happy about.
I think this changes a whack personally.
I liked the destroying. It was fun. Playing Magneto. Playing Magneto on turn 6 and just owns everything.
Yeah.
Or Arrow is hilarious.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
I loved it.
Whatever. I mean, I know why they did it, but obviously -4 is a lot. But.
Yeah. All right. Last thing we'll talk about here is the developer roadmap, which I don't think we've said anything about this. They released this a while ago. So they do this every few months, a couple times a year here. They'll talk about, Second Dinner will talk about what they're doing, what's upcoming in development. There's the coming soon section, in development section, in concept section, which really means like coming soon, probably within a couple months, in development, probably in like 6 months to a year. In concept means just ignore it. It'll probably never happen. And if it does, it'll be a long, long time. So some of the ones that they talk about here in coming soon are character mastery, album improvements, in-game events, selectable card effects, selectable borders, new infinity splits, and collectible reactions, which we'll go over some of them in brief detail here. There's nothing crazy to go over.
Well, hold on. Okay, so you're going to have to clarify on a couple of these.
We'll go into the paragraphs, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, let's get into it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and then in development, clans, which will be pretty fun. Filthy casual clan TFC.
Oh baby,
Rise up, rise up.
the
I should
filthy
say rise
casual.
down to the bottom. The goal will be to be the most active clan with the lowest rank if there's clan rankings.
We have to play our way out of infinite somehow.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's talk about this. Okay. So the first thing, album improvements. They're gonna make more albums, make them easier to complete. Albums with various sizes, more ways to collect emotes. And like they said, imagine a Dan Hip parent album that combines all the Dan Hip albums and for progress. So it's just going to be like more and just like make it easier for people to do more instead of, and which will be nice because you could eventually collect them all. It'll be like a reward to collect in 2 years. So it'll
The
whatever.
parent album idea is funny to read here because this is what it should have been in the first place. It
Mm-hmm.
should have been Dan Hip variants, and then you open it up and it goes 37 out of 121, And
Yeah.
then once you get to 40, you get the first thing. And once you get to 80, you get the next one. And you get to 121, you get them all, you get the final thing. Or maybe just 20, 40, 60. You get a half, you got all the rewards, whatever.
I kind of like all this stuff. At least you get more rewards, along the way.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
like all
maybe
the
every
little
every
albums.
maybe every 20 you get is a reward.
Like this one's every 12, and you get like 3 or 4 rewards in the 12 album one.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
What if it was just all the Dan Hip variants in the game, but every 12 you get a reward?
Well, this one you get 3 rewards for 12. So
Okay, every 4 you get a reward. Every 4
sure,
Dan Hip variants you get. So it's the
that's
same
fine.
rate, but it's just every Dan Hip in the game.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't like that it's just these ones that nobody has, like
Yeah, I
that they,
guess.
that they curated. Like
Yeah,
that's
no, I agree with you because
the
like the
quality of the game.
Venomized villains, like I'm not filling that up. I'm not paying 1,200 gold for a Baron Mordo
Mhm.
Venomized.
Yeah.
There's not happening. Sorry. I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not that
you
much of a
should
whale.
get some progression for every Venomized variant you have.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
No,
that's
yeah,
what the
whatever.
parent album looks like.
So they say selectable card effects and borders here. Okay, yeah, clap. But before you clap, I think this is confusing. A lot of people are confused. I don't think you're going to be able to select the interchange card effects.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm
For
ignoring that part and I'm
Okay, good.
zeroing in on the border part. The
Yeah,
fact that we could choose borders is
yeah,
is crazy that we still can't do that, and thank God they're doing that.
yeah. That's going to be great. Some people think that like you're obviously not going to be able to interchange like gold and crackle and stuff like that. That's just not going to happen. Some people seem to think that they're reading into this that if you have those on a specific variant, you might be able to interchange them within that only variant only. And that's what they mean by selectable card effect. Because they
That's
do.
still a big deal, actually.
That would be huge, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just going to be borders. Personally,
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to get myself excited for. And if it's more, I'll be happy. If it's not, I won't be disappointed. And that's it.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, but the borders are going to be great.
yeah, they're not going to do selectable effects. I just it takes a lot of the money out of the game.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't
yeah.
see them like
No.
choosing to be poor. But like the borders are so easy to get on every, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it's gonna cost them nothing. But it's hard to
Exactly.
get the right effect. Like that takes some time, and if you want to buy some bundles, you get there quicker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you want to pay with gold to upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe that's an option.
Yeah. So they're going to do in-game events here. I don't know. Oh, so this one they said the first one they said they'll tentatively title leagues. So like when a league event is active, you're going to be matched up against a small number of other players near your skill and collection level. And during the event, you'll compete to see who can earn the most cubes to earn awesome rewards. So basically, you'll just be like put in a random bracket, and it'll be like, oh, here's the event for this week. Here's your league. Here's 10 other people that are about the same as you. Whoever gets the most cubes this week gets a reward or whatever. So it could be kind of cool.
I wish it was a bracket instead.
Oh, who knows? Whatever. They got to make it simple, right?
I don't love this. Yu-Gi-Oh does bullshit like this. What do they call it? I forget. But yeah, they do events like this, and it's basically just can you no life for 14 hours a day, and whoever does that wins. It doesn't, like, nothing else matters, and that's what it is. I wish they would like throw you in a bracket with like 31 other people, and then if you win it, you get a reward. Like that'd be kind of cool, right? Like just a best of one tournament or something.
But maybe
the finals is a conquest.
Yeah, they might do that eventually. Who knows? But I
would love shit like that.
This will be okay. At least if they're putting people like in the same skill level as you, hopefully it's not going to be like 40 tryhards.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's going to be like people the same like casual level as you, and if they want to grind, then I'm not planning on winning any of these awards. I'll just play, and if I get some, great. Mm-hmm. But it'll be kind of cool. Maybe it'll make me play a little more. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Character mastery. This looks kind of cool, actually. Do they have? Yeah, you can get custom emotes for like a character. Yeah. So basically, what this, in a nutshell, the character mastery is: if you play with a card and do certain things with a card, then you will get rewards based on certain tiers of things that you do with the card. So like level 1 might be like, oh, play Jeff 5 times. Level 2 might be move Jeff 30 times. That kind of stuff. Maybe you have like use Venom to gain 1,000 power, and then once you hit that 1,000 power, you get a reward. Then it's like play Venom 200 times. And once you play him 200, like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the rewards will be like new splits, so like more than gold and ink, which are the only 2 right now, and the foils. So there'll be new effects. They said, if you thought gold, ink, and crackle were fun, we have more on the way. Earned your and then the amount of variants you have. So like earned your 4th Iron Man variant, gain Iron Man mastery. So it might be like get 4 variants for Iron Man or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Split Venom for the 157th time and gain mastery. If that's one, I will throw my phone at the wall. But yeah. So this could be kind of just a cool thing that like you don't really have to pay to do it. You just kind of like happens organically most of the time. I mean, I guess you could pay if you want to get variants, but and then you get like just fun little emotes and stupid shit like that, like reactions.
I think this is sick. I wish there was more shit in the game like this. Stuff that, like you said, you get rewards for just playing the game. Because right now, once you're done your daily missions, there's not a whole lot to do.
Yeah. So here they say, in its current design, every few levels of character mastery you gain unlocks a mastery milestone. Each character has a unique mastery milestone challenges for you to compete. Imagine reaching Deadpool Mastery 10 and unlocking a challenge to have Deadpool be over 100 power in a match. Mm. Well, it gives you kind of cool stuff to do. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I just used to be grinding the proving grounds to get 100 power Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tank my rank. I don't care. I'll get to the ladder.
I mean, you could do that too. Games. But I mean, if you're in like proving grounds, you might get other people doing the same stuff too. So
true.
You can just mess around. You
want your opponent to retreat once they see a 52 Deadpool, because that's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then and so those are the ones that are coming soon, probably within a couple months, I would guess. In development is like maybe 6 months to a year, I would say. Clans, collectible borders. They'll have new borders for cards and stuff too. But in-game graveyard. This is actually a huge one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have to like have untapped. You can just see which cards were discarded and destroyed. That would be great. But yeah, I think clans will be fun. Hopefully they don't make them toxic, and they don't have like a global chat or anything like that. I don't think they would ever do that. But I think clans will be fun, and hopefully, they don't make it too grindy. Maybe they will, but I mean, we'll just be casual anyway. It's not a big deal. Who cares? Yeah. So, yeah. But I think this will be a fun thing. What do you think about clans?
I mean, I'm into it. We come from the StarCraft 1 Brood War days. Back in the day, we were in a Top Gun clan. Like,
that's right. That was great.
25 years, literally, like probably over 25 years ago, actually.
Man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Shit. Fucking old.
Yeah, we're old as shit. That was the home shared computer on modem internet. But yeah, I mean, we had a blast with that, and let's rock and roll. Bring it back.
Let's bring it back. I love it. Well, that's everything. I think we'll cut it off there. If you want to have our more in-depth thoughts on some of the newer cards coming out, please go listen to Snap Judgments podcast. Awesome guys, Glazier and Roy. Thank you again for having us. That was such a fun time. Magoo, what do you got to say to the people? No big deal.
Hey people, it's time to enjoy a bunch of decks. I know the blob is pretty good. Listen, he just came out like 3 weeks ago, right? But we knew he's not gonna get nerfed, 3 weeks after release. Enjoy all of the other decks right now. It's real fun out there. And if you haven't been playing Quick, try playing Quick.
That's it. That's what we got to say. All right. Till next time. Peace.
Snap.
Yeah.